Donald John Trump is one of the most prominent and controversial figures in modern American history, known both for his success in business and his unorthodox political career. Born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City, Donald Trump was the fourth of 5 children of Fred Trump, a wealthy real estate developer. Trump attended the New York Military Academy and later graduated from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania in 1968 with a degree in economics. In the decades that followed, he took over his father's business, rebranding it as the Trump Organization and expanding into Manhattan real estate with major developments such as the Grand Hyatt Hotel, Trump Tower, and later casinos in Atlantic City. He gained national fame in the 1980s and 1990s not only for his lavish lifestyle and high-profile personal life, but also for his branding of the Trump name across properties, golf courses, and consumer goods. By the early 2000s, Trump had become a media personality beyond the business world. In 2004, he launched the NBC reality television show The Apprentice, where contestants competed for a job within the Trump Organization. The show was an instant hit, and Trump's catchphrase, "You're fired," became iconic. His role as a business tycoon on television enhanced his public image as a bold, decisive leader and reintroduced him to a new generation of Americans. During this time, Trump also explored politics. Though he had flirted with presidential runs in the past, including briefly in 2000, he remained mostly a political commentator, often appearing on cable news shows and criticizing U.S. policy, immigration, and foreign trade, particularly during the Obama administration. He was known for advancing the birther conspiracy theory, which falsely questioned President Barack Obama's citizenship, a claim that drew widespread criticism and helped cement Trump's role as a provocative political voice. In June 2015, Donald Trump formally announced his candidacy for the Republican nomination for President of the United States. Standing in the lobby of Trump Tower, he delivered a speech that was widely covered and controversial, particularly for his remarks on illegal immigration. Many pundits initially dismissed his campaign as a publicity stunt or long shot. However, Trump quickly gained traction among voters disillusioned with the political establishment. His campaign, centered on the slogan "Make America Great Again," promised to put America first, secure borders, bring back manufacturing jobs, renegotiate trade deals, and end what he called globalist policies. With his background as a businessman and outsider status, he managed to stand out in a crowded Republican field that included political veterans like Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz. Trump's campaign relied heavily on social media, particularly Twitter, and he held large rallies across the country that energized his base. Despite numerous controversies, including the release of the Access Hollywood tape, legal battles, and accusations of sexism, racism, and dishonesty, he defeated Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton in the 2016 presidential election. He lost the popular vote by nearly 3 million ballots but won the Electoral College 304 to 227. His victory shocked political analysts around the world and signaled a shift in American politics. Donald Trump was sworn in as the 45th President of the United States on January 20, 2017. His presidency was marked by a series of bold and often polarizing actions. Domestically, he implemented significant tax cuts through the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, rolled back numerous environmental and business regulations, and appointed a record number of federal judges, including 3 Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, tilting the court to a 6-3 conservative majority. Internationally, Trump withdrew the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement, the Iran Nuclear Deal, JCPOA, and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP. He also imposed tariffs on Chinese imports, launching a trade war with China, and pressured NATO allies to increase their defense spending. His foreign policy was described as transactional and nationalistic, favoring bilateral agreements over multilateral institutions. Trump's presidency was also characterized by an adversarial relationship with the media, which he frequently labeled as fake news. He often clashed with intelligence agencies and even members of his own administration. His handling of the COVID-19 pandemic drew both support and criticism. Supporters praised him for Operation Warp Speed, a public-private partnership to accelerate vaccine development, while critics condemned his inconsistent messaging resistance to mask-wearing, and downplaying of the virus's severity. Trump himself contracted COVID-19 in October 2020 and was hospitalized briefly, later returning to the campaign trail with renewed energy. The 2020 presidential election, held during the pandemic, saw a record voter turnout. Trump lost to Democratic candidate Joe Biden, receiving over 74 million votes, the second most in U.S. history at that time, but trailing Biden's 81 million. Following the election, Trump and many of his supporters alleged widespread voter fraud, though no credible evidence supported these claims. He and his legal team filed dozens of lawsuits challenging results in key battleground states, nearly all of which were dismissed. His refusal to concede and rhetoric surrounding the election contributed to growing tensions, which culminated on January 6, 2021, when a mob of his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol during the certification of the Electoral College results. The event led to multiple deaths, dozens of arrests, and Trump's second impeachment by the House of Representatives, making him the only U.S. president to be impeached twice. He was acquitted by the Senate on both occasions, the first being in 2019 over the Ukraine scandal. After leaving office, Donald Trump remained an active and vocal figure in American politics. He moved to his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida and continued to hold rallies, endorse Republican candidates, and influence GOP policies. His grip on the Republican Party remained strong, with many midterm candidates in 2022 aligning themselves with his views. Trump also faced mounting legal challenges, including investigations into his business dealings, classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago, and his alleged role in attempting to overturn the 2020 election results. By 2023 and 2024, several criminal charges had been filed against him in various jurisdictions, including federal and state courts. Despite these controversies, he officially announced his candidacy for president in the 2024 election, continuing to rally a large and loyal base of supporters. In the lead-up to the 2024 election, Trump focused his campaign on issues like immigration, inflation, energy independence, crime, and what he described as restoring American greatness. His critics warned of a threat to democratic norms, pointing to his previous term's attacks on institutions and rule of law. Nevertheless, polls showed him as a formidable contender, especially in Republican primaries. Trump's campaign was powered by grassroots support, media attention, and a brand that had transcended politics into cultural identity for millions of Americans. As of 2025, Donald Trump remains one of the most recognized and divisive figures in the United States and around the world. To his supporters, he is a patriot and a leader who challenged the status quo, protected American interests, and revitalized conservative values. To his critics, he represents a dangerous populism that undermines democratic principles and fosters division. Regardless of perspective, there is no denying Trump's lasting impact on U.S. political culture, media, and public discourse. His legacy continues to evolve, shaped by ongoing legal battles, the outcome of the 2024 election, and his influence on the Republican Party and American political realignment. Whether viewed as a transformational leader or a deeply polarizing figure, Donald J. Trump is a central chapter in the story of 21st century America, a symbol of disruption, power, and the deep divisions that define the modern era.